Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Soulja Talk the podcast. I'm your host, Staff Sergeant McPherson, and on this show, we discuss military topics with current and prior service members. Okay, today, you guys, we're gonna be going over the just part one of the new CSDP inspection. This is gonna be the OCIE section, you guys. Just gonna be going over what's different, what changed, or whatnot, and that's what we're gonna be going over in this video, you guys. You guys stay tuned. Okay, you guys. So, like I was saying, we're gonna be going over the OCIE section. So, nothing really changed, you guys. Of course, if you guys got a copy of the cheat sheet of the DA Form 7768, you guys can hit me up. You know what I mean? I email you a copy of this cheat sheet that I'm looking at right now, so you guys can, pass y'all inspections. So, before we get started, you guys, make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel, and we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. So, number one, first of all, OCIE and personal clothes is section F. So maintain OCIE records. So it says a document will be provided to the soldier by the CIF that identifies 100% of the OCIE in which the soldier is responsible for. And then, as far as this section, it says your inspector is supposed to check the unit's supply SOP on OCIE procedures for questions 1 through 7, which is I'm about to go through. That was just question number 1. It says ask for unit's readiness report generated from IPSA. Of course, you guys want to get that printed out and have that right there in the first folder in your OCIE files. So it says they're gonna go through the files and make sure each soldier has a folder. Of course, you guys already know that. And for this section, it says if 75% and above, if you have 75% and above folders, soldiers that have folders, you get a go. But if it's 74 and below, you receive a no-go. So there you guys go. So the next one says commanders and directors will ensure that all soldiers clear the OCIE issue point before departing the installation. So on this section, you guys, it says they're going to verify if you have been conducting CIF recons every quarter. So this is just a section you want to make sure you have your CIF recon memo and your quarterly reconciliation reports from CIF, you guys. The next section says when soldiers are assigned, commanders and directors will ensure that the OCIE is on hand and agrees with the soldier OCIE records, conduct periodic inspections of assigned soldiers OCIE, initiate corrective actions as required. So so it's a annually showdown inspection at an additional as needed. So of course, you guys should be inspecting your soldiers OCIE at least annually. And then it says, and it also, by the way, you guys, so it gives you the where it's located in the regulation too, you guys, under publication with paragraph. So if y'all want to see this information and find it where it's at, of course, the ones what I'm on now, of course, is in 17-4. The one 17-4. So, and it says, of course, inventories have been completed by their leadership. So must have the inventory copy. So basically just have the inventory copy to where that soldier's OCIE CIF record is printed off, and then you get it signed by their supervisor just saying that they inventoried. And that's for every E4 and below, you guys. Then it say commanders authorize E5 and above to sign a memorandum. You want to review all the memorandums where they should review all the memorandums and make sure they're current and make sure it has the acting commander on there. And that's it for that page, you guys. Nothing really changed as far as this new inspection. Except they checking now. They checking for CIF recons. I don't think they checked for that on the last one. Second one said, well, next one says, units must be initiated in the form the 7923 uh, if there are losses discovered during OCI inventories, if they admit liability and under their basic pay. Process copies must be in soldiers folders. So CIF usually do that, but like you can still initiate that at the unit level, you guys, when you're doing OCI inspections. The next question is, it says units commanders will sign a damage state to verify no negligence or misconduct was involved for OCIE exchanges. So of course, yes, this like a damage statement, um, field loss or whatever type of memorandum commanders can use to verify there was no negligence or misconduct was involved with if they're missing some type of OCIE equipment. If none have a discussion to see if they understand when it is used, how to prepare one, and the step thereafter. So yeah, so that's just depending on what happened to the missing equipment, you guys, and tell you if it's a damage statement or a field loss that the commander can do for that soldier, so they won't be charged for that. The next one says once the soldier has 6 months time in service, conducting inspection on the 3078. So, of course, within 6 months of a new soldier getting to the unit, they're supposed to do the personal clothing inventory, and if and it says for E5 and above, they will have a personal clothing statement. If first term soldiers come from AIT that do not have their service uniform, they must unit supply must submit a request to APCR. Soldiers should not be purchasing these clothing items that is issued at basic training AIT. So it's a lot of incidents, you guys, that soldiers come to supply straight out of basic or AIT, and they don't have their service uniforms and stuff like that. Of course, there's a website that you go to where it's the APCR. I can't think of the actual what it stands for right now, but yeah, it's a website that you go to that you can request the clothing through your clothing and sales. So the supply star is supposed to have an account set up with your clothing and sales, depending on where you stationed it, and they just go on there and send a request for that soldier. And usually if they left basic training or AIT without that stuff, it should be a memorandum that they put in the system for that soldier saying that they didn't receive this stuff. So uh clothing and sales, once they get online and check the account thing, they'll be able to see that the soldier didn't receive it, and they'll just issue it to them. But they still have to put in a request. Well, you just go to closing the sales when you get to your unit and see can you get your stuff. So next says Army enlisted soldiers receive an annual clothing replacement allowance to replace anything using 4886 issue in kind personal clothing record to account for personal clothing issued to individuals. Keep the DA form 4886 on file to the soldier PCSs or leaves the service unit commander's directive inspections. Okay, so this one right here is talking about the 4886, basically talking about the annual clothing allowance, you guys. But this is just for National Guard and Army Reserve. So the 4856 is usually used for the National Guard and Army Reserve, you guys. And the next one says unit commanders will ensure responsibility is assigned to persons for property say bear issue to their personal use, the individual will acknowledge responsibility by signing a hand receipt. So it says property issue for personal use will be issued on the hand receipt, OCIE record, or equipment receipt. Examples of property issued for personal use are barracks furniture, OCIE, and protective masks. Army property will not be used for any private purpose except authorized by HQDA. And you can look this up in AR 17-4, paragraph 12-2, 12-3, where they're talking about responsibility assigned to persons for property. So this is basically like a 2062, you guys, where the commander where basically the commander issued personal property, personal responsibility to that soldier, far as the being responsible for their barracks equipment, barracks furniture, and stuff like that. And it says barracks furniture is maintained by the unit barracks managers through EMH. Commanders are required to annually sign the inventory roll-up hand receipt for the barracks furniture managed by FMO. Verify there are signed hand receipts. Yeah, so that's something really what's supposed to happen as far as to change command. So you guys, so you didn't do that during change command. Just go to FMO. They should have a they need to have an updated hand receipt signed by your commander where they sign for everything for whatever floor your soldiers on and stuff like that. So that's all. That's all they're saying for that one. But far as the 4856, you guys, let me just look this up real quick because I ain't hold on. So before I end the video, you guys, so I know a lot of you guys don't know that I wrote 2 books. So I got 2 books right here, guys. I wrote 2 books, growing up in the Army and a guide on how to lead leaders. And you guys, a lot of people don't know I wrote those books. And also I do have merch, you guys. I do have sweatshirts. This is one of them. This is the tan version. I have a tan version and I have a military green version, you guys. So these are both available in sweatshirts and hoodies, you guys, just so you guys didn't know. But that's pretty much the OCIE section of the new inspection, you guys. Got any questions? Let me know. This has been another episode of Soulja Talk the podcast, and I'll see you guys in formation.